and they've stopped thinking about storytelling because they actually look down on the audience.
The woke brigade that's within their building.
They've got nowhere to go at this point.
They're just there for identity politics.
The studio that once brought us timeless classics is now at the center of a cultural and financial collapse. Nerdrotic just dropped a bombshell on Disney, and it has everyone talking. From heated debates to major revelations, it seems like the House of Mouse might finally be paying the price for prioritizing identity politics over storytelling. So, is this the beginning of the end of Disney's woke era? Let's break it all down. Disney is in crisis mode. Once the crown jewel of Hollywood, their last 4 blockbuster releases have flopped hard at the box office. And no, we're not just talking about a bad weekend here or there. We're talking about a colossal drop in audience interest. The same issue arose in a recent Piers Morgan show where Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker, 2 of YouTube's most outspoken voices in entertainment critique, talked about what they see as the lack of quality storytelling in modern Hollywood. And their biggest target was none other than Disney.
But like Disney is that third-party company. They are the DEI department. Lucasfilm is the DEI department, and now Marvel is too. And it was really easy for comic book fans to figure this out.
On one side, Disney's representative tried their best to defend the company's current direction. On the other, Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker spoke out with hard-hitting arguments and undeniable fan sentiment. Let's just say, this wasn't a fair fight.
So there's a lot of misinformation, and I think the issue is that no one here is actually really reading the real strategy. The problem is several things. There's a missing implication. There has been, arguably, films that were super successful. Black Panther had a predominantly black cast, not all black cast.
But Nerdrotic didn't waste any time calling out what he described as the real issue, Disney's inability to listen to its fans. He highlighted the box office failures of recent releases like Lightyear and Strange World, calling them case studies in what happens when you prioritize messages over entertainment. His point? Audiences want to escape into stories, not feel like they're being talked down to.
Yes, exactly. All of those different aspects of their creative output have flopped, and they've got nowhere to go at this point. Clearly, something has to change. What they're doing is not working anymore.
Meanwhile, Critical Drinker pointed out how Disney's strategy has alienated longtime fans. He argued that audiences don't want lectures or divisive messaging. They want compelling characters, engaging stories, and escapism. This debate isn't just about Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker versus Disney. It's a reflection of a much larger crisis rising within the company. Behind the scenes, Disney is facing what some are calling an internal civil war. And it's not just talk. The numbers don't lie. Films like Lightyear and Strange World have been outright box office disasters, while even Marvel's once unshakable dominance has started to crumble. Disney's last 4 major releases have collectively underperformed, signaling a sharp decline in audience trust and interest.
The House of Mouse is falling down. Disney's last 4 big releases have bombed at the box office. The company is currently no longer Hollywood's #1 film studio. Recent box office takings show even Marvel has lost its, Marvel.
Disney's civil war is real. Executives, investors, and fans are clashing over the company's future direction. Some want to return to its roots, focusing on timeless storytelling, while others are doubling down on political messaging. But with bomb after bomb at the box office, how much longer can Disney keep this up? Take a look at the numbers. Films like Lightyear, Strange World, and even the once unbeatable Marvel releases are failing to meet expectations. Even critics who used to champion Disney are now questioning its priorities. One of the key criticisms raised by Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker is Disney's hiring process. They argue that the company is focusing more on checking diversity boxes than on finding talent with a genuine passion for storytelling.
And that's part of the reason, because they're just there for identity politics. It's simple. We used to joke about they're just checking boxes when they're literally checking boxes now.
According to these YouTubers, this emphasis on identity over experience has led to disappointing results, as seen in projects like She-Hulk, The Acolyte, and even upcoming Star Wars films. Their point isn't to criticize diversity itself. Films like Black Panther and its sequel have shown that diverse casts can lead to massive success when paired with strong stories. Instead, They highlight that Disney's approach often feels tokenistic, prioritizing political messaging over character depth or plot quality. This has left audiences feeling disconnected from the stories being told. Despite these failures, Disney seems either unwilling or unable to address the root problem, a lack of quality writing and storytelling. Instead, the company often blames broader market trends or even audience fatigue for their declining box office numbers. But is that the full story? Another significant factor that came up during the debate is oversaturation. Let's be honest, how many Marvel spin-offs, Pixar sequels, or Star Wars prequels can audiences handle? Critics and fans alike agree that Disney has leaned too heavily on existing franchises, creating a sense of fatigue among viewers.
Wish,
Haunted Mansion flop,
yeah.
Pixar flops all over the place.
Yes, exactly.
This over-reliance on established brands has crowded out the originality that once defined Disney. While audiences are open to diverse and innovative stories, they want them to feel fresh and engaging, not recycled from older hits. The debate highlighted a key truth. Audiences don't want a culture war. They want compelling, original stories that resonate with them emotionally. And Disney, as the world's biggest entertainment brand, has the resources to deliver just that. Disney's reliance on sequels, prequels, and spin-offs is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, they've been financially successful, often outperforming the original films they're based on. Movies like Frozen 2 and Toy Story 4 are prime examples, beloved franchises returning for more magic at the box office. But there's a catch. Fans are growing tired of seeing the same stories repackaged again and again. Critics argue that this isn't just a Disney problem, it's an industry-wide issue. However, Disney is facing the brunt of it because they've leaned harder into this trend than most.
What's missing in this conversation is that the reason why a lot of these films are not doing as well is because many of them are spin-offs, sequels, or there's just overall fatigue in the market where people want original stories.
So why isn't Disney doubling down on originality? One reason might be financial safety. Sequels and spin-offs come with built-in audiences, making them less risky. But as audience fatigue grows, even these safe bets are starting to fail. It's a wake-up call for Disney to balance profitability with creativity. Modern audiences are savvier than ever. They can spot when a story feels forced or when characters are written to serve an agenda rather than to inspire or entertain. This disconnect between what Disney produces and what fans want has led to a sharp decline in trust. Creators like Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker are amplifying this sentiment. Their criticism reflects what many fans have been saying for years. It's not about rejecting progress, it's about demanding authenticity. And that's something Disney needs to take to heart. So, what's next for Disney? The company is at a crossroads, and the decisions made in the coming months could determine its future for years to come. Will they choose to embrace their roots, returning to timeless stories that resonate with audiences of all backgrounds? Or will they double down on their current strategy, risking even greater alienation from their fan base? There's also the question of leadership. With Bob Iger back in the CEO seat, many are wondering if he can steer the ship away from disaster. Iger has a reputation for building Disney into the powerhouse it once was, but can he undo the damage of recent years? Adapting to change has always been Disney's strength. The company has weathered storms before, from the near bankruptcy of the 1980s to the revival of the 1990s, with classics like The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast. But can Disney pull off another transformation? Bob Iger's return as CEO has sparked hope among investors and fans alike. Known for his ability to pivot and innovate, Iger faces a daunting challenge: reconnect with the core audience while navigating a rapidly shifting media landscape. One potential strategy is to diversify, not just in terms of representation, but also in storytelling styles and genres. Exploring untapped cultures, unique narratives, and unexpected themes could reignite the magic that made Disney a global phenomenon. So, is this the wake-up call Disney needs, or are they too far gone? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to the channel for more updates.